This is the sacred land where Parvati and Parmeshwar incarnated as Brahmaramba and Mallikarjun, a Shakti Pitha, one of the 12 Jyotirlinga shrines, at Sri Shailam. We are now at the Sri Shivaji Spurti Kendra. We are entering the royal court of the great Hindu emperor, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Shall we now explore Shivaji's history through three-dimensional visuals? Jijabai, Shahaji Raje prayed to Parvati and Parmeshwar that she be blessed with a son who would protect the land of Bharat, which was suffering under the oppression of foreign invaders, save the Hindu society tormented by the cruelty of the Mughals, and preserve the Indian culture that was on the verge of extinction. With the blessings of Parvati and Parmeshwar, on 19th February 1630, when the stars had to come together in a very favorable constellation, the day of Falguna Shuddha Trayodhashi, under Hasta Nakshatra and Singha Lagna, at Shivneri Fort, Jijamata gave birth to a son. That son was Shivaji. People of Pune province are being influenced by the idea of Swaraj. They were raising their voice against the atrocities of the Sultan. So on 23rd May 1642, a young 12-year-old Shivaji and his accomplices collectively take oath of Swaraj in the holy Shiva temple at Rohideshwar. Growing with the ideals of Shahaji Raje and the teachings of Jijamata, Shivaji became well-versed in Shruti, Smriti, Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, poetry, political strategy, and the art of warfare. He mastered the skills of riding elephant, gaza, horse, ashwa and chariot, ratha, and became an expert in handling weapons like sword, khadga, bow, dhanussu, disc, chakra, and spear, shula. He also gained excellence in sciences such as exceptional courage, fort construction, strategic planning, and vigilance. Thus, Veera Mata Jijabai, by teaching and training Shivaji and his fellow young soldiers, was shaping them into future heroes. Shivaji, along with his young soldiers, captured and took possession of the deserted Todna Fort, located in the Kanag Valley amidst the hills near Pune city, between 1645-46. He also took control of the Murumba Devi Hill, situated to the southeast of that fort, and at just 16 years of age, he built the Rajgarh fort upon it. This fort later became the first capital of the Maratha Empire. Between 1654 and 1659, Shivaji Maharaj conquered the coastal forts of Khanderi, Kolaba, and Karwar in Karnataka. Realizing that a strong navy was essential for the protection of the emerging Hindu empire, he began building various types of warships, initially with the help of Portuguese and French artisans. Warships like Galbat, Gurab, Talandi, Thirkati, Mahagiri, and Taru became symbols of Maratha sea power, while merchant ships such as Machwa, Batela, Shibag, Balav, and Manji were used for trade. By 1674, Shivaji had around 85 warships, and Shrimanik Bhandari served as the admiral from 1654 to 1679, marking the true beginning of the Maratha navy. In South India, Sultan Ali Adil Shah grew envious of Shivaji Maharaj's rising power. To crush him, Bari Sahiba, the wife of Adil Shah, placed a tambul, betel leaf, in the royal court and challenged, "Let any brave warrior accept this and bring Shivaji, dead or alive." None dared to step forward. Finally, Afzal Khan rose and accepted the challenge, boasting, "Who is Shivaji? I shall capture him alive without even dismounting my horse." Yet, even Afzal Khan feared Shivaji's courage. Before setting out on the campaign, he cruelly killed his own 64 wives, fearing their behavior or character after his death. Thus began the fateful expedition of Afzal Khan against Shivaji Maharaj. On 10th November 1659, Shivaji and Afzal Khan met at the Pratapgarh fort. Afzal Khan secretly attempted to attack Shivaji using a concealed dagger. However, Shivaji wore armor under his clothing and was protected from the attack. With the help of his powerful tiger claws, Shivaji ripped open Afzal Khan's abdomen, killing him. During the siege of Panhala Fort, Siddhi Johar surrounded the fort where Shivaji Maharaj was staying. For nearly 4 months, Shivaji was trapped inside. One night, he escaped towards Vishalgarh. Siddhi Johar's soldiers discovered his escape and began to chase him. At the narrow mountain pass called Pavankhand, Baji Prabhu, a loyal commander of Shivaji, decided to block the enemy's advance. With only 200 soldiers, Baji Prabhu fought bravely against Siddhi Johar's army. He sacrificed his life but held the pass until Shivaji Maharaj safely reached at Vishalgarh on 1-3 July 1660. After Aurangzeb seized the Mughal throne in Delhi, he appointed his uncle Shaista Khan as the Subedar of the Deccan in 1660 with an army of 80,000 men. Stationed at Shivaji Maharaj's Lal Mahal in Pune, Shaista Khan began ravaging the Maratha territories. On the night of 5th April 1663, Shivaji Maharaj, with 200 chosen men, launched a daring surprise attack on the palace. Knowing every corner of his childhood home, Shivaji struck swiftly. Shaista Khan lost 3 fingers of his right hand and fled Pune in terror within 3 days, ending the Mughal threat to the Maratha kingdom. As revenge for the successive victories of Shivaji Maharaj, Aurangzeb sent his 2 prominent generals, Mirza Raja Jai Singh and Diler Khan, to Deccan to capture the Purandar fort. At that time, Murar Baji was leading the Marathas there. In June 1665, Diler Khan launched a massive attack on Purandar, resulting in an intense battle between the Mughal army and the Marathas. Seeing the valor and fighting spirit of Murar Baji, Diler Khan tried to tempt him to join the Mughal forces. However, Murar Baji rejected the offer and directly attacked Diler Khan. During the fight, an arrow struck Murar Baji in the neck. In June 1665, Murar Baji sacrificed his life for his motherland and attained a heroic death. Responding to Aurangzeb's invitation, Shivaji Maharaj went to Agra and met him on 12th May 1666 in the Diwanai Khas of the Red Fort of Agra. During this meeting, Shivaji Maharaj was insulted, and in anger, he walked out of the assembly. Aurangzeb then plotted to imprison and kill him. Later, on 17th August 1666, Shivaji Maharaj, along with his son Sambhaji, escaped from Agra by hiding inside fruit baskets. After a long journey of 3 months, they safely reached Rajgarh on 20th November 1666. To curb the growing influence of Shivaji Maharaj, Aurangzeb sent Mirza Raja Jai Singh with a massive army to attack the Maratha kingdom. Shivaji Maharaj had to take a step back and sign a treaty with Jai Singh, under which he surrendered 23 forts and territories worth 4 lakh horns in revenue to the Mughals. To reclaim these forts, Subedar Tanaji Malusre began the campaign. Despite his son Raiba's wedding being only 6 days away, Tanaji led 300 soldiers and launched an attack on the fort Sinhagar. On 4th February 1670, he fought bravely against Uday Bhan Rathod, sacrificing his life but winning the fort. When Shivaji Maharaj heard of Tanaji's death, he said, "The fort is won, but the lion is lost." In the month of Shravan in the year 1672, Shivaji Maharaj met Samarth Ramdas Swami near Chafal. Since childhood, the brave deeds of Shivaji were known to the saint through his ministers. When they finally met, a deep spiritual bond was formed between them. Later, Shivaji Maharaj gifted the fort of Parli, also known as Sajjangarh, to Ramdas Swami for his residence and spiritual service. With the victory of Todna Fort in 1645, Shivaji Maharaj began the foundation of the Hindu Empire. At that time, the people regarded him merely as a Subedar or the young prince of the Bhosle dynasty. However, the great scholar Gaga Bhatt from Kashi sent messages to all kings and declared Shivaji is not merely the king of Maharashtra, but the emperor of entire India, the Hindu Pad Padshahi. On Saturday, 6th June 1674, Anandanma year, Jesht Shuddha Trayodshi, the coronation ceremony of Shivaji Maharaj was grandly held at Raigad Fort. During the ceremony, the people raised slogans of joy. Proud Pratap Purandar, Kshatriya Kulavathamsha, Simha Sanadhiswar, Maharaj Dhiraj Shri Shivchatra P Ki Jai. English envoys Henry Oxenden, George Robinson, and Thomas Michael attended the event and presented valuable gifts. This coronation revived the spirit of Indian independence and sovereignty. On 5th February 1677, during his southern expedition, Shivaji Maharaj visited Abul Hasan Tanashah Qutub Shah, the ruler of Golconda. When he entered Bhagyanagar, the entire city was beautifully decorated with Kumkum Keshra Rangoli, festoons and Gudi torans. Gold and silver flowers were showered upon Shivaji Maharaj as the citizens eagerly came to see him. The Golconda ruler made peace with Shivaji Maharaj instead of engaging in war. The distressed citizens of Koppal, Gadag region, Karnataka, came to Shivaji Maharaj, pleading to be rescued from the cruel oppression of the Pathans. Shivaji Maharaj immediately entrusted Sardar Hambir Rao Mohite with the task. Hambir Rao, with his army, marched towards Koppal and launched an attack on the Pathans. In the fierce battle, Nagoji Jedhe wounded Khan's elephant, but was struck by an arrow from Hussain Khan Miana and was severely injured. Finally, Hambir Rao Mohite captured Khan, chaining him, and seized around 2,000 horses, several elephants, and great royal treasures, which he presented to Shivaji Maharaj for Swarajya. Shivaji Maharaj and Abul Hasan Tanashah Qutub Shah met at Ghad Mahal inside the Golconda fort. The two great rulers warmly embraced each other. Qutub Shah, highly pleased with Shivaji Maharaj, offered him a seat beside his own throne with great honor. They held long and cordial discussions and exchanged valuable gifts. On this historic occasion, Akkanna Madanna Pingali, the Diwans of the Qutub Shahi kingdom, were also present. On 19th February 1677, while in Golconda, Qutub Shah, Tanashah, invited Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to witness his maddened elephants' games. At that moment, Shivaji's commander Yesaji Khamk fought the furious elephant and cut off its trunk with his sword. The terrified elephant ran away, and Qutub Shah himself trembled in fear. Meetings and invitations continued in Hyderabad for over a month. One day, Pradhani Madanna personally invited Shivaji Maharaj to his home for a dinner. Shivaji Maharaj happily accepted and went for the meal. Madanna's mother Bhagamma herself cooked the food. Bhagamma, Madanna and Akkanna freely discussed several matters with Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji Maharaj offered elephants, horses, clothes, and ornaments as gifts. On 24th March 1677, Shivaji Maharaj visited Srisailam and had the darshan of Lord Mallikarjun Swami along with goddess Brahmaramba. Sri Mallikarjun of Srisailam is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. He stayed in this temple on the banks of the Krishna river until 1st April 1677, engaging in penance and meditation. During this time, the northern Gopuram of the temple was also constructed. It is known as the Shivaji Gopuram. Shivaji Maharaj visited Tirupati Balaji on 4th May 1677. He travelled via Balaji and Srikalhasti from Srisailam, and from there via Kanjivaram, he reached the strong fort of Zinji on 9th May 1677. The chain of 3 forts, Chandragiri, Krishnagiri, and Rajgiri, known together as the Zinji fort, was conquered by Shivaji Maharaj from the control of Nasir Khan between 13th and 19th May 1677. Later, Shivaji Maharaj held discussions with his stepbrother and regional ruler, Venkoji Raja, and then returned to his capital, Raigad. From 1690 to 1698, the Zinji fort flourished as the center of the Hindu Empire. As a grand source of inspiration, Sri Shivaji Inspiration Center stands resplendent. To this sacred land, the great Hindu empire builder, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, during his southern conquest journey, paused here and immersed himself in the meditation of the Divine Mother. The Mother blessed him and taught him his sacred duty. Behold, this is that very holy place, the meditation shrine. This sacred soil has protected the Naga lineage from falling under foreign rule for 340 years. Jai Bhavani, Veer Shivaji.